Good evening, Westfield. How we doing? Can I get some energy, please? I'm a little nervous, so I need to take all of your energy to help me wave my arms around in a big gay fury. So please, okay. So please be considerate of people's social distancing. We're still emerging from a COVID-19 pandemic. I want to thank everyone so much for being here tonight. My name is Chris Clark. I am a product of Westfield, and I thank you guys so much for coming tonight. On behalf of the Westfield Pride Alliance, we are so excited to welcome so many of our neighbors, friends, family to the second, can't hear me? Okay. Let me see. What if I talk really loud? Can you hear me now? Okay, so thank you everyone for coming to the second annual Westfield Pride Flag raising here in Westfield. This is a Progress Pride Flag, so this is a huge, huge thing for Westfield. We're so lucky to have you all here. We're going to have an amazing night. It's going to be a very quick night, but it's going to be really awesome. We have some amazing speakers coming tonight. And I'd like to acknowledge some people here with us. So if you don't mind, please hold your applause for them. They're amazing people. But please hold your applause until I've introduced them all. First and foremost, we have our State Senator John Vilas and his team. We can give some applause. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we like to give our representatives some loves. We also have our Representative Kelly Pease and his assistant Ethan. We have the Honorable John M. Graney, retired Associate Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Court. We have our City Council President Brent Bean. We have our Ward 2 Councilor Ralph Figge. We have our Councilor Cindy Harris, Councilor Kristen Mello. We also have Councilor Rick Sullivan. We also have some additional special guests, including our former City Councilor Mary O'Connell. We have Reverend Barbara Hess, who is a pastor at the Second Congregational Church. We have our former City Councilor Agma Sweeney, didn't want to mess that up. And we also have Hope Tremblay from the editor of who is the editor of the Westfield News. It's pretty awesome how many people showed up today. I'm absolutely shocked about how many people decided to come out on a Tuesday night, 6:30, on a beautiful spring afternoon, just to celebrate this, to celebrate our community. So again, sorry, I'm choking on my words here. Thank you. We also want to thank the following people again, who include our wonderful Mayor, Donald Humison, who approved our request to raise the Progress Pride flag here at the City Hall. But also, we have a little bit more history this year, and we also have a Progress Pride flag flying down a town square at the Green, right underneath the state flag, and that is awesome. That's showing the people of Westfield that we're here, we're visible, and we're proud. And we are just so proud. We'd also like to thank the Westfield Parks and Recreation Commission and department staff for the flag flying proudly on the Green tonight. And thank you for everyone who supported and dealt with our requests in the last few weeks. It's been a lot of work, a lot of meetings, but we're so thankful for their patience and continuous commitment to serving our community. I'd also like to thank Michael Moriarty, Tom Curran, Jill Adams, Thomas Mello, and Ken Stomsky for their help in pulling off this event this evening. Thank you. Thank you. I'd also like to thank any of the students from the Westfield Public School System or the Southbrook Public School System, any public school system in the region. It's so amazing to see the young people here. This is why we're here. Don't forget that. I'd also like to thank our Westfield Pride Alliance event ambassadors, including James, Bob, Kelly, Katie, and anyone else here who showed up to our meetings and dealt with me and dealt with my emails. Thank you so much. Now, a big round of applause, because now we'll actually get started with our programming. When thinking about what could I say to the people of Westfield if I had a mic in front of me, I think the only thing that really comes to mind is my desire and all of our shared desire to make this world a better place. Your attendance at tonight's event is a big deal. You are contributing to Westfield history, helping to ensure a better tomorrow for Westfield's children. So thank you. And now, without further ado, to share with you some words of welcome, I'd like to introduce to you our Honorable State Senator, John Vilas.
So my friend Chris, I have to say this. Every time I hear him... Can you hear me now?
You gotta yell into it.
I really gotta yell. You can hear me now? Wow. So Chris, I have to say this. I do this every time I follow him, whether it's at an event, speaking after him, just whenever I see him in the community. Everything that he's accomplished positively, I take credit for because he was one of my interns. And if you believe that, so anyway, it's just an absolute honor to be here. This is something that, in my opinion, you have to be at. And Chris touched a lot of this, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is my firm belief. Everybody is a human being. This inclusivity, we should be celebrating it. We should be honoring it. And most importantly, we should be proud of it. Absolutely proud of it. So, thank you. But it's just, I'm just really happy to be here. And I would be remiss. I think one of the most important things that I can do tonight, and I'm sure someone else is going to do it, is point to my friend right there who told me to not mention his name, but I never listen to him when he says that, is Judge Graney. I think I said this last year, but when I was in law school at Suffolk Law in Boston, I remember reading an opinion about equality. And I remember seeing it, the Goodrich opinion. And then I remember seeing what it did. And it was a trailblazing, insightful, forward-looking opinion. And I have to tell you, when I saw that the majority opinion was written by our very own John Graney from Westfield, I paused and I said, wow, how cool is that one of Westfield's own was the author of this? And I think it merits another round of applause for, and this was in, Judge, 2004? 2003. So that wasn't yesterday. So he wrote that opinion in a very, very, very different time. And again, I just want to conclude my remarks by another round of applause for Judge Graney. Thank you, Your Honor. And thank you, everybody, for coming tonight.
Thank you, John. I'd also like to welcome our representative, Kelly Pease, to the stand to say a few words if you'd like.
Oh. Thank you. Can you hear me okay down there? And I always get the pleasure of following John Vilas, who is the senator, who is so eloquent, and I'm trying to fumble up here and make it through another day of speeches because I learned. But you know what? So I'm only going to say something real quick, and I'm going to take a little bit of what Martin Luther King Jr. said, and we're going to add to it. So, you know, it's not the color of your skin, your gender, your religion, or your race that makes a difference. It's the content of your character. And that's what we're here to recognize, is like the senator so eloquently said, it's who we are as human beings and how you are in life as a human being, no matter what you are or what color you are. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative. So I also have the pleasure of welcoming a few community members tonight. And now this first one was a very, very important voice that I thought that really needed to be had when we were talking about, well, who do we ask to talk at this event? Who is really going to provide an impactful, meaningful set of words that's really going to resonate with the community, that's representative of the community, and that's representative of the times. And the first person who came to my mind was actually my neighbor from childhood. And so I want to welcome you next to Mary Beth Berrien, who is my wonderful, amazing neighbor, mentor, community gardener friend who we compete against in gardening every year. I'd like to welcome her to the stage.
All right, I don't even know if I need this because I really have a very loud voice, and I've been told it's kind of annoying at times, but I'm going to be really annoying right here, right now. One of the things that I know as a teacher and as a mom is we as adults that are allies need to start taking responsibility to make the gay community feel included. It is not up to the gay babies to make it okay for them to live here. It is up to us. And as far as that goes, I would really like to see parents out support. Go out there with your students. Go out there with your kids. I'm a high school teacher. I can't tell you how many times students have said to me, hey, Miss B, I can't tell my mom I'm gay. Why not? Why not? There are so many things that you could be in this world, and being gay is not bad. I will tell you that. So if there's anybody here that has that problem, please reach out to me. I'm here. I give mom hugs. That's who I am. That's what I do. And I think we need to have more in our community like that. More people in our community need to stand up and make acceptance for the gay community be the norm and not acceptance be the what? Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth, so much. Thank you. Our next speaker is an academic. She is a wise woman. She has many wonderful words to give to us this evening. She works for Westfield State. She is a person with many titles, all of which that I could not list. I would like to now welcome Rana Lytle to the stage.
I met Mary this morning, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know how I follow that. Like this? Can you hear me? For the people in the peanut seats, can you hear me? Yep, okay, take me from my good side. I like to look pretty in all of my pictures. I met Mary this morning, 7 o'clock, and I must say, she is the high school version of me. For my students in the audience, she is who you needed in high school when was no one there for you. And then you met me at Westfield State, and I was like, okay, I'll give you a hug. Yes, you can call me mom. And yes, I will love you unconditionally, okay? And that's what all of our young people need. That is what all of our elders need. That's what all of us middle-aged people need. We need to be loved unconditionally. So I did prepare some remarks because Councilperson Mello over there was like, I need you to talk. And I was like, good Lord, why? But I want to take a moment and thank the committee for inviting me here today to speak. This is a very momentous occasion. Some of you, if you showed up just a minute ago, you may not know that the progressive pride flag is down at the City Common. It is raised next to the American flag and the Westfield City flag. And that is something amazing, something you should all be proud of. And I want to say to the Westfield leadership, thank you. Thank you for showing our great Commonwealth and our neighbors in other cities and states that we, Westfield, are proud. And we are going to do the work to bring a more inclusive and equal community right here in this lovely little city. I also want to say, I have notes. I went off them a long time ago. I want you all to remember that Pride is not just about a march. It's not just about having a party. But this is a moment for us to reflect. This is a moment for us to understand where we've been and where we have yet to go. We've lost a lot in this year of a pandemic where we thought, oh, it'll be over quickly, but we're still wearing masks. We got shots, and we made sure our community was protected. And we learned we are better together than alone. The queer community has known that for many years, and we have been fighting to be part of the larger community. And I just want to say in my final words, thank you to the city of Westfield for showing us that we can be part of the greater community, love, live, work, and celebrate as part of the entire family. Thank you.
Thank you, Rana. We have one more speaker for you tonight. And this person is the executive director of the Senior Center and the Council on Aging. She has also dealt with all of my emails and our constant bickering on the Zoom calls that we'd have every Wednesday evening talking about this and that. And she was so patient, and we're so, so grateful. She is a #1 ally for our community, and that is Tina Gorman. Please, Tina, come join the stage.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. So we've talked a lot about young people. I'm going to talk about the other side of the spectrum, the other end. So older adults face a myriad of challenging issues in areas such as physical and mental health, finances, housing, and caregiving. These problems are generally magnified for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender adults age 60 and older. Mainstream supports have largely failed them. They were discharged from the military dishonorably. They were considered sinful and immoral by their faith communities. They were evicted from their rental units. They have been disowned by their families. They have been harassed, entrapped, and institutionalized for having a mental illness. A lifetime of discrimination has prevented many from accessing services and programs that would foster independence, interconnectedness, and valued aging. 4 years ago, members of Westfield's Council on Aging began an educational journey that has led to a greater understanding and appreciation of the obstacles that LGBTQ older adults face. We are learning both the acronyms and the terminology. It's a process. So to those of you in the LGBT community, please be patient with us. Don't be offended by our questions. In order for us to see the world through your lens, you'll need to open up and share your perspectives. I was delighted to discover that within your community, I have a title. Instead of dismissing me as an outsider who would never understand, you have included me as an ally. Thank you for that inclusive ranking. Last year, just weeks before the COVID shutdown, we held a first-of-its-kind breakfast open house at the Senior Center for those in the LGBTQ community and their allies. The eclectic intergenerational blend of participants was both heartwarming and encouraging. The pride flag was visible on the great room stage so that everyone in attendance could confidently spread the word that Westfield takes care of its seniors, all of them. Many older adults in the LGBT community fall into what we in the Aging Services Network refer to as a double gap. Mainstream providers who ignore the person's gender identity, and those in the LGBT community who don't notice its elders. Untreated, these gaps lead to a greater sense of isolation and ultimately higher costs for institutional care. In order for the Council on Aging to provide services, programs, and activities for Westfield's older LGBTQ individuals and couples, we have to know who they are and what their particular circumstances are. The more visible the Pride Progress flag is throughout the city, the more likely that our seniors, all of them, will know that they are accepted and that assistance is readily available. As we gather tonight to raise the Pride Progress flag, a symbol of inclusion and acceptance of LGBTQ individuals of all ages, all colors, and all abilities, ask yourself this: what steps have I personally taken to address the challenges that the Pride Progress flag symbolizes? Depending on your answer, you can make a list or broaden an existing list. But most importantly, please act on your list. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. So at this point in the program, we're almost done. We're almost there. We're almost going to see this Progress Pride flag fly. But Tina and I have a special announcement that we'd like to make as well. Tina, if you could join me to the stage again. So we've decided that this year, too, we want to create something new that'll be included in every single year's Pride events here in Westfield. And so we came up with something known as the Westfield Pride Alliance Equality Award. And this year, we'd like to say that the award is hereby given to...
Well, I'm really delighted because he's one of ours. Honorable Justice John M. Greaney, June 1st, 2021, for meritorious contributions to the LGBTQ community and its goal of equality for all.
Thank you, Chris. Can I say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Well, this is quite a surprise, to be honest. I did not expect this. I'm only going to talk for 30 seconds. When we wrote the Goodrich decision, and I wrote my separate opinion that you're probably familiar with, a lot of people said why, and I said why not. And here we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Greaney. And we also had a little bit of a write-up. We wanted to really talk about the impact of this decision. I know it's been danced around a little bit, but let me give you a little bit of a history lesson. So Justice Greaney is a Westfield native and a St. Mary's High School graduate. He's a retired Associate Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court and the former Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Appeals Court. To the LGBTQ community, the highlight of Justice Greaney's 34 years of service was the concurring opinion he authored in Goodrich versus the Department of Public Health in 2003, in which he stated that the denial of marriage licenses to same-sex couples is sex discrimination. He wrote that the marriage statutes prohibit some applicants, such as the plaintiffs, from obtaining a marriage license, and that prohibition is based solely on the applicant's gender. When he concluded that if constitutional protections extended to individuals and not to categories of people, then Massachusetts was not discriminating on the basis of sexual orientation, but restricting a person's choice of spouse on the basis of gender. This historic 2003 decision made Massachusetts the first state in America to legalize same-sex marriage. It was a ruling so monumental and so revolutionary that it sent ripples across the nation and across the globe, leading to the United States Supreme Court's ruling on June 26, 2015, striking down all states' bans on same-sex marriage and legalizing it in all 50 states. We are deeply honored to have Justice Greaney here with us today and to award him that award. And now, with all of that pomp and circumstance and all this, we get to go to the main portion of our event, which will be the raising of the Progress Pride flag. Thank you all so much for coming. Let's have a little bit of a party. Please be socially distant, but enjoy. Bask in this glory. Happy Pride, everybody. Thank you. I know. It's too bad. It's too bad. Yeah. Yeah. I hope to be there next year. Always. As much as I can be. We had a lot of fun.
We'll be right back.